Anyway, to blue. Yeah, I think white's looking good. Like, white has a lot of good token generators and things to do with those tokens. It doesn't have good things to do with the tokens necessarily, but it's got some great token generators. So, right, starting with blue. Usually, I will say now for everyone watching, usually I hate blue. Usually I take a big shit all over blue's face because I don't particularly like the blue play style of sit there with a handful of cards and every time your opponent pulls a card out of their hand, you just slap it and go, no, not allowed, because I said so. And then they and then you wait, and then on your turn, you just sit there and look at them. And then next turn, they pull a card out of their hand, you slap it out of their hand and go, nope, because I said so. Like, I don't like that playstyle. I would prefer to be playing my own cards. But, again, just me. So, Aegis Sculptor, starting with a flyer. Good. A 4-mana 2/3 flyer. Okay, less good. Spritz them with the water bottle like a cat. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? Like, and again, like, I feel like I give specifically blue a bad rap in Limited because I don't like counter spells in Limited. I feel like most of the time you'd prefer to just have hard removal than a counter spell. And so blue almost always has like 2 or 3 counter spells like in the set, and I'm just like, I wouldn't use any of these. And then they probably have like 2 or 3 draw spells that are just like draw more cards, which is fine, but in a limited format where you're getting absolutely pummeled, it's like, if I'm playing blue, I usually assume that I'm losing on the board. Because blue usually loses on the board because their creatures can't. Oh, look at this. This is a 4-mana 2/3. Like, the turn it comes down, it is a 4-mana 2/3. By turn 4, the blue player, or the white player we were just looking at, is hitting you with fucking 6 1/1s a turn. And you go, haha, I have a 2/3. And they go, yeah, I played a 3/3 2 turns ago, and I've been pummeling your face in. You're on 7. But yeah, so like blue I feel like is always losing on the board, which means their only means of comeback is like shenanigans, which is fine, but usually it comes at the cost of everyone's enjoyment. Anyway, we'll get back to we'll continue reviewing cards instead of me just dunking on blue players. I've done that for every fucking set review for a while now, so I should leave my hatred for blue players in somewhere else while I'm doing this. Right, a 4-mana 2/3 flyer with Ward 2. Cool. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. See, now this isn't awful. I don't hate this. I just feel like it's a bit slow, right? I don't know. It depends. If you're playing Jeskai and just like vomiting draw and spells into your graveyard, I guess this comes down on turn 4 as a 2/3, and then on turn 5 is a 3/4 flyer, which is pretty good. But it doesn't... turn 6, it becomes a 4/5. At that point, it's probably bigger than everything else. So you're waiting till turn 6 before this is bigger than everything else? Like... Because I feel like if you play this on turn 4, you're probably just getting your ass beat. The flying ward combo is annoying. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. If blue has a bunch of smaller creatures that are good at defensively, maybe this gets past. Because maybe the blue player is doing fine, plays this, and this is their win condition. Maybe. But we'll have to see. Agent of Kotis is a 2-mana 2/1 with Renew. Okay, for 4 mana, exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Okay, this is actually, again, I was just saying, if you have a good early defensive creature, maybe, This is a 2-mana 2/1 that your opponent swings into and you just throw under the bus because then it can put +1/+1 counters on things, right? I think this is fine. Like, it's not a good card, but you don't mind this dying, so I think you're okay with this. Ambling Stormshell, okay, is a 5-mana 5/9 with Ward 2. Whenever this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. Are we about to have Turtle Tribal? Weirdly, I'm okay with Turtle Tribal. Also, I actually like this card. Like, it's a big boy, and it encourages you to attack because you draw cards from it. This is like the best parts of blue with, you know, a decent sized body. I actually like this card. I like decent sized creatures or big creatures, and this is blue's version of a big creature. My dream will finally come true, Turtle Tribal. This is the first turtle we've seen. But if there's a lot of turtles, you know, I might have to try Turtle Tribal at some point. Yeah, I like this card. I actually weirdly like this card in blue. Because it attacks, it is big, and it might allow for Turtle Tribal. Bewildering Blizzard. 6 mana, draw 3 cards. Creatures your opponents control get -3/-0 until end. This is actually okay. Like, I usually hate the big draw spells, like 5 mana, draw 3 cards, and then your opponent laughs at you because they just cracked you in the face for 12. But, like, this is draw 3 cards, and your opponent doesn't get to hurt you. Again, this is not the worst. Like, this isn't great. It's 6 mana for 3 cards, which is not fantastic. But you do get to say no to your opponent actually just creaming your face in. So, I don't mind this. I think blue's doing a lot more to try and keep itself alive with this set, which I like. Constrictor Sage. 5 mana for a 4/4. When it enters, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And renew. Exile this card from your graveyard, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. This is very expensive. Like, this comes down on turn 5, stops a creature, and maybe blocks. I mean, maybe this is enough to hold the ground, right? You tap down your opponent's big scary thing, and then this is a 4/4. I don't know. Again, I'm not a big fan of blue. This is understated. It does stop a creature for 2 turns, and then after it's dead, it can stop a creature for another 2 turns. But it's just, it's not very big. It's 5 mana for a 4/4. Maybe that's fine. Maybe. Durga Island Dragon. Okay. A 6 mana 4/4 with flying and ward 2. Okay, not bad. And the Omen is Skimming Strike. Tap up to 1 target creature and then draw a card. I think this one's good. Because, like, if you're on turn 2, there is no way you're planning on this coming out anytime soon. So you just Omen it, draw yourself an extra card, tap opponent's creature so you don't take much damage. I actually like some of these blue cards. I like a lot of these blue cards. This is annoying. I want to hate on blue. Damn you, blue players! Actually, to be fair, that probably means blue is going to be, like, not very good. Because when I hate blue, it's always too good. Dispelling Exhale. 2 mana, as an additional cost, you may behold a dragon. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If it's a dragon, it's counter unless its controller pays 4. I don't care for counter spells and limited. I think you would just prefer... I mean, at least this is cheap. Like, 2 mana to counter something unless its controller pays an extra 2 is probably annoying. but I just don't care for counter spells in draft. I would always just prefer removal. Dragonologist. Okay. 3 mana for a 1/3. That is some ass stats. When this creature enters like the top 6 card of your library, you may reveal an instant, sorcery, or dragon card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Untapped dragons you control have hexproof. We've only seen 1 dragon so far in blue. I mean, I suppose there were dragons in white as well. You play like Dragon Tribal with this card? I mean, I guess you can, but all the dragons are like kind of expensive. I don't hate it. I just don't think it's good in limited, right? This is a 3 mana 1/3. When you play this in limited, your opponent laughs at you and swings. Because, like, the dragon's not coming out, it's just going into your hand. And especially if you hit something like this, like, you play this on turn 3 and you hit this, your opponent goes, okay, so you could tap a creature next turn, and then laughs in your face and just swings for the fences. Like, again, it's just, blue creatures are all too crap. Apart from the turtle. I like the turtle. The turtle made me happy. Dragonstorm Forecaster. It's a 1 mana 0/3. With tap 2, tap this, search your library for a card named Dragonstorm Globe or Boulderborn Dragon, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. So we haven't seen either of these yet, so I don't know if this is good or terrible, but it is another, like, look, here's my blue creature, it does nothing. I don't know. I guess this blocks 1/1 tokens pretty well, but again, Abzan and Mardu are vomiting like 6 of them a turn. I don't know. I don't know. This just looks kind of dookie. Again, maybe Dragonstorm Globe or Boulderborn Dragon are absolutely cracked, but if they're not, this is crap. Essence Anchor. Okay. 3 mana for an artifact at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Sure, you can tap it, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Activate only during your turn and only if a card left your graveyard this time. Okay. So that's the hoop you need to jump through 3 times. I mean, at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil is probably pretty good, especially if you're doing graveyard shenanigans. But tap this, make a 2/2, only if a card left your graveyard. Like, do you have critical mass of graveyard shenanigans in limited with this? Probably not, right? This probably makes, like, 3 2/2s across an entire game. Unless there's, like, ways to recurringly interact with graveyards. I mean, actually, to be fair, there was, like, this that exiles 2 cards from your graveyard, which would trigger this, because they did leave the graveyard. So, like, I guess blue does have ways to do it itself, but, like, this is, like, at least the zombie don't come in tapped. True. I just feel like this is very mediocre. Like, again, if this was white, the 2/2 black, the 2/2 white zombie token would just fall out of somebody's pocket because they looked at, you know, something. They'd just be like, oh shit, sorry, I just dropped a 2/2. And this is, you can only do it if specifically, like, once a turn, because it's a tap, and only if a card left your graveyard. Like, white is accidentally-ing this stuff, and black has to jump through hoops to get it off. Druids matter in this set? Maybe. I think, so, if this was at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1, and then it was tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard, make a 2/2, I think that would be good, right? I'd probably play that. But it's just, it requires you to have other cards doing stuff with your graveyard for this to do anything. Apart from, I guess it does put stuff in your graveyard, which is nice, but like, eh. Focus the Mind. 5 mana. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you've cast another spell, so it probably costs 3. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Eh. I mean, it at least costs, 4? Because if you play a 1 mana spell, then this costs 3, and then it's 4 total for this. Eh. I don't hate it. I don't like it. It doesn't do anything defensive. You're probably just getting your face kicked in, but sure, whatever. Fresh Start. A 2 mana flash enchantment. Enchanted creatures gets -5/-0 and loses all abilities. Yeah, this is Blue's version of removal. And it's not particularly interesting. This is Flash, which is great, but this is very... Again, I don't care for blue. So if you're a blue player, I'm sorry, but I do not care for blue. High Spire Bellringer. A 3 mana flyer, and the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Okay. This is good. I think this is good in the Jeskai play 2 spells a turn. I think this is puts in a lot of work in Jeskai play 2 spells a turn. Like, it's got a fat ass so it can block. It's flying so it can get some damage in. With the cantrippy buff spells, and it just makes everything cheaper. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is very good in Jeskai. Humbling Elder. A 1 mana 1/2 with flash, and when it enters target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-0 turn. Yeah, this is good. I like this in blue as well. Another, like, here's a dude, your dude doesn't hit me this turn. This will keep blue players alive, which is good. The flash also, I mean, it has to have flash realistically, but yeah, I think this is very good. Ice Ridge Serpent is a 5 mana 3/3. Blue players just paying out the ass for nothing, really. 5 mana 3/3. When it enters, return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Sure. Whatever. See, my problem with this, right? Again, this is why I really don't like blue. This is a 3-cost card, right? Maybe a 4-cost. Like, let's say it's a 3 mana 3/3. Let's just say it's completely normal amount. It is a 3 mana 3/3. The bounce effect is unsummon. Because it is creature, right? Yeah, return type creature. It's unsummon, which is a 1 mana card. So this is, at the most, 4 mana. And yet it costs 5. Like, this is bad. This is bad. I don't like it. It's bad. It's so whatever. Kishla Trawlers is a 3 mana 3/2. You really need your creatures to be decently statted. Please, blue, I'm trying. I'm begging you. When this creature enters, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. When you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And make a 2/2. Sure. We haven't seen any like game-winning instants or sorceries yet, but maybe they exist. I don't know. Again, I think we're going to have to get to the gold cards to really see anything exciting in this set, but this is... If you have an instant or sorcery you want back, guess what? You can have it back for a creature. Sure. What's this? A Maranga River Regent? A 6 mana, 6/7 dragon. Okay, I'm going to step forward for this because I like the dragons. Flying, when this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. This is so good. Wait, this is way better. 6 mana for a 6/7 flyer, already in, like, just good stats. And when it enters, you can bounce 2 non-land permanents to your opponent's hand. This is crazy good. And what's the omen? Draw 3 cards and discard a card for 4? Yeah. But then you shuffle it back into your library. Yeah, I like this card. This is another good one. Look, Blue, look, you put correct stats on something. Actually, this is better than correct. This is actually great stats. Also, I am sorry to say, Noob, we haven't seen another turtle yet. Turtle Tribal is dying at 1 card so far. Naga Fleshcrafter, a 4 mana... Okay, so it's going to become something else. It's a 4 mana 0/0. Enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Okay, so you can steal your opponent's stuff. That's cool. And renew 3 mana. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target non-legendary creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. Okay, there's probably some shenanigans you do with this, right? There's probably some weird shenanigans you do with this where everything becomes, like, turn everything into a Mana River region or a Maranga River region. Guess what? I have like 3 or 4, 6, 7 flyers. Get battered. Right? Like, that's just, that's probably what happens. Guess I will have to depend on Commander for Turtle Tribal. Yeah, that is what might have to happen. What is there like is it, first of all, was this turtle legendary? No, he wasn't even legendary. So what's the tribal leader of a turtle deck? Is there a legendary turtle that I don't know about? Anyway, yeah, this guy probably is just like everybody becomes a giant dragon, beats ass, right? It's only until end of turn. Like, what else are you going to turn him into? In blue, realistically. I guess this dragon they can also all become, and you can hit your opponent for a bunch. Make everything into the turtle, but then everything has stun counters and you draw way too many cards. Yeah, it's probably just everything. Hopefully everything becomes a river region, and then you just smash your opponent for 30. Ringing Strike Mastery. Okay. 1 mana, enchant a creature. When this enters, tap the enchanted creature, and it doesn't untap, and it can untap for 5. Sure. Like, again, Blue's weakest point is going to be the early game, so having a cheap way to just say no to a creature, I'm fine with that. I think this is probably a good card. Like, your opponent being able to pay 5 to untap their creature means that in the late game, this is crap. But at least in the early game, it'll keep something locked down for a while. Riverwalk technique. 4 mana. Choose one. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library and counter target non-creature spell. It's sure, whatever. This is probably fine. I mean, it's 4 mana, but it does put something on. I don't like. Yeah, Blue's removal sucks ass. Sure. This is mediocre at best. Roiling Dragonstorm, 2 mana. When it enters, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Sure. And when a dragon enters, return it to its owner's hand. I mean, this is better because it's cheap. Better than the white one, right? This is 2 mana, draw a card. Well, no, this is 2 mana, replace itself, right? Because you play this, draw 2, which means you're up 1, but then you have to discard 1. I suppose it lets you look through more of your deck and you can discard the bad stuff. Technically, discarding is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, this is probably fine. This is better than the white one, I think. but only because it's cheaper. I don't really care about anything else. Sipsing Appraiser is a 3-mana 2/1. Again, blue, you've got to work on your creature's fucking stats, man. When this creature enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your grave. Sure. Like, here's the thing. In Standard, blue can get away with this shit because you just take blue spells and you don't worry about creatures, and then you just have removal or creatures from other colors and it doesn't matter. But in Limited, you might have to actually use some of these creatures, and God, they're so bad compared to other colors. Like, green, by the time you play this on blue, your green player is going to be cracking you with 5/5s. Like, it's so depressing. Snowmelt Stag is a 4-mana 2/5 with Vigilance. Sure. During your turn, this creature has the flipped stat, so it's a 5/2. I mean, it can't be blocked this turn, so this is actually a good way to finish a game. But I don't know. Does a 2/5 actually stop anything? Really? Like, white has already gone so fucking wide that even if you're blocking one creature a turn, you're still taking 10. Green's already double this thing's toughness in a fucking by accidentally. Red just, I don't know. We're gonna have to look at the other colors, but like, I just feel like blue is just, nah, doesn't really do anything. Creatures all suck. It draws some cards, but who cares? Because they're only going to be drawing crap cards anyway, or bad creatures anyway. I don't know. Maybe this card's good, but like this is at least a finisher in blue, so I'll give it that. But like, ugh. Spectral Denial counterspell, cost 1 less cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. So 2 so far we've seen, 3 I guess. Counter target spell and since controller pays X. Sure, it's another counterspell. Like I said, I don't care for counterspells in Limited. Stillness in Motion is a 2-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards. Then, if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. What? This is bad. This is bad. In Limited, this is bad. This is a bad rare, and if you get this, I feel sorry for you. This is a bad rare in Limited. Because like, this isn't even if you would mill out, you win the game. Which there are lots of cards that are just if you would mill out, win the game. This is, if you would mill out, this gives you 5 more turns. If you're milling out in Limited, the game's gone on too long. Somebody's fucked up. Right? This is bad. This is just, no, I don't, this is crap. This is crap in Limited. Tigum Master Opportunist. Okay, a 2-mana 2/2. Hey, look, blue, you did it again. Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, then exile Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Oh, okay. Interesting. This is probably good, right? Like, you get like 2 turns of this out with this out, and it like your opponent's probably like really screwed. Like, it's fine for the cost, and its ability is actually half decent. Because this is just, you know, double every second spell you play, but you have to wait a little bit. This is probably good. This is probably decent in Limited. It is only a 2/2, so red and black probably sneeze in this thing's general direction. It falls over with no protection, but I mean, that's always something that's going to happen. Taken out immediately. Yeah, he is absolutely removal bait, but I think if your opponent does... we haven't seen that much removal. White had, what, exile something for 3 and exile something for 5 minus however many creatures you're attacking with. But the only other thing they had was destroy big stuff. They didn't have, like, just destroy anything like White sometimes does. So, yeah, this guy, if this guy sticks around, he's really good. The issue is, he kind of has to stick around. But he's also good removal bait, I suppose, if you've got other cards that you... But yeah, no, I actually don't hate this. Again, weirdly, when you give a creature decent stats, I actually tend to enjoy it. But all of the blue cards have crap stats, and it makes me upset. But this is at least a 2/2, so I can give this a pass. Teamer Devotee, a 2-mana 3/3 with Defender with the color conversion. I like this. I actually like this. Again, it's a good defensive creature for blue. It's cheap, and the mana conversion is probably good. It also doesn't have to tap, so you can still block with it. So, yes, like this card. I don't know how important having access to all the Teamer colors will be, but I would play this card in a blue deck just because it's got, it's thick. Unending Whispers. 1 mana, draw a card. I imagine decks like this. It is sorcery speed, but sure. Harmonize 6. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce the cost by X, where X is its power. Then exile this spell. Okay. It's not great, but, I mean, it's Cantropy. And this can be the card that starts your second spell a turn thing, right? Like, you pay this for 1, draw a card, and then just play a second spell, and either it gets, copied, and you get to suspend it, or you get the +1/+1 and scry, or, all the rest of the things that happen when you do the second spell in Jeskai that we've been looking at. What's this? Ireni's Rebuff. 2 mana, return target creature to its owner's hand with Harmonize. Again, this is a sorcery, so it's not great because it's a sorcery, but, it's cheap, it's removal in blue, and the Harmonize is fine. Yeah, I think this is probably a decent card. Veteran Ice Climber, a 2 mana 1/3 with Vigilance, but and it can't be blocked. Okay. Whenever this creature attacks, up to 1 target player mills cards equal to this creature's power. Okay. Go for a mill your opponent out strategy. That could be quite funny. The Vigilance means it can also block. I actually like this card as well. I actually don't hate this. Also, I think this is actually good, better in Limited than most other places, right? Because Limited is 40 cards. Like, you give this what was the white buff spell, +3/+0, draw a card. You +3/+0 this for 2 and swing at your opponent, and they mill 4 cards. Like, they're gonna be so upset with you. I think this also works in the Sultai is blue, green, black, and seems to be doing stuff with zombies and graveyard shenanigans. You can also mill yourself if you want to. I mean, I'd probably mill in a limited format. I'd probably mill my opponent every time because that's just another way to kill them. But you can mill yourself if you have graveyard stuff you want to do. I like this card. I think it's actually... actually, there's been a lot more blue that I like than usual. At least for the last set. The last set, what was it? The Death Race just had so many cards that I was like, why the fuck are you even here? Wingblade Disciple, a 3 mana 2/2 with flying. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a bird token. This is a good card. This is a very good card. This reads, whenever you feel like it, poop a bird. In Jeskai specifically, because you probably just play 2 cards pretty much whenever you get the opportunity. So in your turn, you're playing 2 cards, and your opponent's turn, you're playing 2 cards, and just pooping out birds the entire time. Like, if you see these, you want to be running as many of these as you can fit into your Jeskai deck, I think. Wingspan Stride, 1 mana, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 and flying, and you can return the aura to your hand. Yeah, this is probably really good as well. I'm not a big fan of enchantments or artifacts, because I find whenever I try and put them on a creature, my opponent always has the removal. But this gives +1/+1 and flying, and is cheap. So, like, you play a 1 mana 1/1, and on turn 2, you just enchant it with this and just start going. And, like, your opponent probably doesn't have any response to that for, like, 3-4 turns. You get some good damage in. And if they do destroy the creature, and you have mana up, you could just return this to your hand, and then put it on a different creature. This is probably good. Winter Night Stories. A 3 mana sorcery. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature. With Harmonize. Sure. This is probably fine. Again, it's just a draw card. It doesn't actually do anything else. But, you know, there have been a decent chunk of blue creatures and spells that actually do impact the board in some way. I love enchantments to the point of my own detriment. Like, again, it's just... Maybe it's because I always remember the times my opponents have it. But I swear... Whenever, this is on MTG Arena, this is when I go to pre-releases and do draft. Whenever I'm there like, haha, I have an enchantment. Enchant my creature. My opponent just goes, remove it. And I'm just like, oh, so I lose the enchantment and the creature. And yeah, it's just like every time. Like enchantments that just sit on the side and do stuff, fine with enchantments like that. Enchantments that have to specifically go on a creature, or artifacts you have to specifically equip to something, every single time, the creature just dies. And I'm just like, that was a fucking waste. So yeah, I don't really do stuff. I don't care for aura enchantments and stuff like that. Yeah, Winter Night Stories is... Sure, it's another draw spell, because blue needs more of those. Honestly, also, I should probably give what I thought of blue in total. And I did this for white. We went back and looked through some of the cards I really liked. I will say, I don't hate blue as much as I usually do. I think blue has some decent stuff to it. Like... There are at least some interesting cards. There's some big cards like this thing, and there is this other dragon, and the turtle. I like the turtle. I think the turtle's cool. I am sad there is not more turtles, because we didn't see a single fucking turtle in the whole set apart from that guy. But, I'm sure, whatever. So yeah, I am fine. I don't hate blue as much as I normally do, because it at least seems to have ways to actually protect itself and do stuff. But it's still not, you know, going to be my color of choice. Usually that's green and red, or green and black are my 2 preferences, because I like mid-rangey beatdown things.